Do not adjust your screens. What you're seeing is believing. That's right, I finally finished my first Transformers custom, and it is of the DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future. Now for the head, I gave this Back to the Future DeLorean time machine the look of Dr. Brown, and as you could see from the back here, I gave him some hair. Now I know what you're saying, Transformers and robots don't have hair, but in the past few Michael Bay Transformer films, there have been characters with hair. One example would be the Einstein looking dude from Transformers 3. So what I did was, I sculpted the hair in the back, and I gave it a gray, white, and silver feel, so it would be a bit more futuristic, robotic, etc. You know what I mean. For the sunglasses, I made them totally silvered to represent the look from Back to the Future Part 2, the future Doc Brown look. And for the face, initially I wanted to have like a Christopher Lloyd type face on there, but it would be weird, the skin tone wouldn't match, and besides, the face didn't have like a sculpted feature where it looks like a mouth and a nose. So since it had this flat surface, I was looking for a scene in the movies where Doc's face was covered. And that being Back to the Future 3, when him and Marty are stealing the train, he has a bandana that's white and it has black spots on it. Like black, like dirty, scuffy marks. So that's what I replicated on the figure here. Now for the vehicle parts on the car, I used a model kit. Now none of it was painted, so I had to do all the painting by myself, and I think I did a pretty good job. Spray painted a majority of it silver. There are instances like right here with the speedometer and the flux capacitor where I didn't spray painted silver, but I had to hand paint it with like toothpicks and stuff because it's very tiny. It doesn't really look like it on screen, but it's very small in person. Like there's my finger, and that's the flux capacitor. It's very small, but it took a lot of precision to get it right. And the DMC logo was also a challenge, but I think that turned out great. I think I did a pretty good job on the paint. Now on the knees, I put the two giant exhausts that the DeLorean usually has, like right here. I'm going to use the Hot Wheels DeLorean as an example. I put these two right on the kneecaps, and the wheels are on the side of his knees and on his shoulders, just to give it to some variety. As you can see, the two doors on Bumblebee here, and I used the DeLorean doors on the back here because I felt like there's no other place to put such unique doors like that other than the back. And it's sort of like wings, but you know, it looks really cool. On the back, it's the interior of the doors, and I also put that opening where Doc would put the blender for the future movies right there. I didn't put the blender here because this figure is not, you can't transform this figure, so I only have this figure on robot mode posing next to this DeLorean right here. Now this DeLorean is the same scale as the model kit I bought to make this figure, so it works together. And as you can see here, it's not the same color as here because I wanted more detail, and I think the yellow makes it stand out more, but it's the same size basically. Then on his butt is the out of time license plate and the two lights, and on the back of each are the little bumper pieces with tubing. I felt like it's a Transformer, it should have some. Taking a closer look at the speedometer part, I had to hand paint this, and it's very tiny, and I think I did a good job. You see the wires, red and black and blue, and then when you turn it around, there you have the front of it, and I think that's the most impressive part. I think other than the figure itself, I think that's the most impressive paint job. I'm really happy with this figure. And for proof of scaling, this is the front of the regular die-cast DeLorean, and that's the model kit. And as you can see by the hoods, they're the same size. They're the same size. So although this figure doesn't transform, he does have a lot of articulation. His head moves all around, his waist, his arms, his legs. You gotta be careful though because of the paint. Well, you don't have to be careful, you don't have this figure, but I certainly have to be careful because there are some fragile parts. Again, this is made out of some model kit pieces, but in the end it's perfect for me to animate with, and it has perfect articulation. So I think this is probably my best custom, my favorite custom, and it's just all around amazing. Last but not least, a Transformer always needs a gun, and for this figure there was no exception. But the question is, when did Doc Brown ever have a gun? Well, that answer again, Back to the Future 3. Now, as you guys remember in Back to the Future 3, Marty McFly had to go back to 1885, where he's confronted by one of Biff's ancestors, or grandparents, or something like that. And in the moment of Marty almost being hung, Doc saves him with a giant sniper. And here, I sort of made a futuristic, robotic-looking version of that sniper. I put some rust to it, gave it that same length, and I gave it a scope, and it's pretty impressive. This little bandana part was not on the sniper, but the way I had to extend the barrel, I needed a toothpick. So this is a toothpick, it isn't plastic, and I needed to super glue it to the main gun. So it wouldn't work, so I had to really use hot glue, and it made like a big unappealing bubble. So I thought I'd put that bandana there, and it fits with the Frontier look, I guess. But it just, when you put it with this figure, it just looks incredible. As you can see here, the Back to the Future DeLorean Transformer is in good scale with the movie Bumblebee, and with the giant MP01 Optimus Prime, as well as it's in perfect scale with the regular die-cast, I think it's 1x24 DeLorean, and it's a bit bigger than the Hot Wheels car, of course. So in the end, I am absolutely in love with this custom figure. It's my best custom figure, and I think after doing this DeLorean, I think I'm gonna do some more Transformers customs. I'm thinking about doing a Batmobile next, I'm not sure, but I'm so happy to have a Transformer of a Back to the Future DeLorean, and I'm happy that I figured out how to make it work with decent articulation. The only downfall is that to make it look as good as it does, I could not make it transform. Alright then, I really hope you enjoyed this look at my custom Transformers DeLorean. I guess I'm gonna call him Doc Brown or Time Warp or something. I don't know what to call him. Or just Back to the Future DeLorean Transformer. I mean, it's a long name, but still. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this custom. Make sure to thumbs up the video, favorite, like, share. Let people know I made this. And check out Big Bad Toy Store. That's where I got the pieces to make this custom. Alright, I'll catch you later.